All right, good morning. Oh, look at our participation online. Yes, that's exciting. As you know, well, welcome November 1st team meeting. Am I loud enough? I've never been accused of being loud. I'm kidding. Your grandfather called me a special name because of my loudness. Okay, well, welcome November. Let's get started with a little bit of gratitude. Who's got something good to share? Or express a bucket fill. Bucket fill means you fill somebody else's bucket. And yet, if nobody's going to fill yours and you want to fill your own, you can do that too. Who's got something? We can hear you online as well. This is killing me, Norman. This is loud. And I can't go quieter. I'm excited. Dale's got something? Okay.
Yeah, so the Federal Reserve is supposed to meet today, and the consensus is that they will not be increasing interest rates today. So that could be a great news
Today
for the market.
Yes.
Maybe next
They're going to
time.
stay locked in at what?
I cannot say that.
No. Where are interest rates today?
Currently, we're at 8% on a 30-year fixed conventional or FHA VA loan.
That's nothing.
With
my first home, my wife and I bought was 8.25%. And that was a great purchase. Okay, great. Anybody else? Yes. Oh, yeah, we got to get a microphone so they can. They can hear you.
Hi, my name's Jasmine. I had my first closing on the 20th of October.
Yay! And when did you get licensed?
I got licensed July 26th.
Okay, good work. Good, love it. Very right. Great hope. Anybody else? Oh yeah, Tasha has something great to share. Tasha, our chairperson for Red Day this year and all times into the future. Just kidding. She's giving me a glare if you can't see it online.
I'm going to share this email I just received from TCH. They said,
remind people what we did.
For Red Day, we partnered with Texas Children's Hospital and we made over 100 care baskets for the kids. So she said, I have been meaning to send this email for a long time, and I apologize for not sending it sooner. I just wanted to thank you and your team for the amazing gifts you provided to our kids at Specialty Care Sugarland. I wish we could have taken pictures of some of their faces for you to see. All of the packages were amazing and helped our patients and families in a difficult time. Thank you so much.
Awesome. That was good work. Red Day is the one day, if you're not familiar, in Keller Williams where we stop working and we give back to the community. And this year's project that was led by Tasha and Winona on the ALC. What are you doing next year? She's not decided yet. I can't wait to hear what it is. That's a little joke we have with each other. She did such a great job leading it. We want to continue to have her leadership in that in the future. Wouldn't you guys all agree? Yes. Okay. Greg and I agree. Okay. All right. Anyone else got something? Bucket fill, something exciting to share. That's awesome, by the way. Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, Chad, this is Brandy. I'm online. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. So I don't know if is Sharon Parker in the room?
She is not. It's her birthday.
Yeah.
What? Okay, well, I'm going to give her a shout out anyway. I just wanted to share that, believe it or not, I've actually never worked on a foreclosure. And I called Sharon and asked her a few questions, and she pretty much just said, Brandy, what do you need? And so we went and met with the client again. And long story short, just they are able to stay in the home. So neither her nor myself made a dime off of it. But what we did gain is just knowing that we helped somebody and they're now able to stay in their home. And that was huge. And what I learned from Sharon was so much, just the way that she spoke to them, the questions that she asked, the knowledge that she had. There's no way I could have, fake it till I make it on something like this when it has to do with, somebody's home. And it was fantastic. So huge thank you to Sharon. It's
awesome.
Nice that we have an office that we have so many people that have the knowledge. And I've been doing this for a while, but that's something that I've never come up against. And I went to someone who had the knowledge, and she was so forthcoming and helpful. So it's awesome.
If she didn't hear that, Sharon, you're not online. We'll make sure we relay that to her as well. Thank you for sharing. That's outstanding. And she does know her stuff when it comes to that. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anyone else? Bucket fills. Kathy, you got anything you want to share?
At least I didn't call
Don't
her
let
out. I
Kathy
just
get
looked
out
at
of here.
you.
I'm going to have a lot of fun with Kathy this whole meeting. There you go. That was a little shock to the system for sure. The temperature change. Yes. Anyone else?
Do you want to? No, you can go.
Okay, go for
So
it.
we just got a text message saying that their newly 19-year-old licensed agent got her first deal for 1.2 million. The name is Sawyer Swinford, new agent with us.
Wow. All right. Not what you know, it's who you know, right? In the beginning. Great connections are. That's why we tell you to work your database. Work the people closest around you. Okay. Fantastic. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Yes. Without your guidance, she wouldn't have made it. And your expertise. Okay, this is a recap of all the things that we have going on. We'll go through each one of these one by one, just to give you a perspective. Here it all is in one spot. Oh yeah, by the way, time change. You get to, it messes this all up. Yes, you get to fall back, and yet I don't like it. But anyways, it messes me up. Anybody else have internal clock and that messes with? Okay, don't forget it. And there's a touch to your database, right? Be the next agent that sends it, but it's a good thing. Family reunion. You get an early rate. It's in Vegas. It's a lot of time. The early bird special has been extended till November 14th. So it's $7.99. Rooms are pretty affordable in Vegas. And whatever you spend, you'll win back at the table. So don't worry about it. I was kidding. That's my sarcasms for some of you are looking at me. What's wrong? Huh? No, no guarantees. No guarantees. If you are in the top 50, and only if you're in your top 50, yes, we do have exclusive groups. It's based on productivity. Tomorrow in this room, if you haven't registered, Gene Rivers, who's one of my favorite KW instructors, will be here doing the business planning clinic. We only opened up the 50. We've extended our invitation a little bit more. People didn't climb, but make sure you're there. It's fantastic. I mean, he's good. Andy's better, but we had to get Jean because Andy didn't have it on her schedule. That's my wife, by the way, and your broker. 6 personal perspectives. Look at this flyer. The fanciest flyer is the message because he's the teacher. If you haven't done 6 personal perspectives, here's a good class. Anybody can name it off the top of your head, all 6. I'll give you a free basic agent bill for the month. Anybody name all 6? Don't be Googling it. Don't be cheating. Anybody in the room? You got to say it out loud. You can't type it. All right, Brandon's going to give it a shot. He didn't even attend the meeting. He just heard me. All right, here you go. Let's hear it.
All right. Commit to self-mastery.
That's number 1.
80-20 principle.
That's number 2.
Move from E to P.
That's number 3.
Remove limiting beliefs.
Okay, that's where, yeah.
That's 6.
Oh, so close. You only got 2 more. B.
Oh,
You got 5 seconds. 5, 4,
B.
3, 2. Play again next time. How about be learning based? And how about number 6 is what? No. It's in there. You're right. Accountability is the last piece. Good try. You probably should stay in the meeting if you can't answer those or attend. On November 15th, we have our annual potluck. It's a very culture. People ask what to bring. Just bring your best dish. I will sample it, make sure it's safe for everyone to get into it. But that is a great place. We really have a good time. We always have people that show up late to that. You can show up late, but bring your favorite dish. That has been a great tradition over the years. And don't eat the day before so you come really hungry. Oh yeah, here's first place, business planning with Andy. Look at that. It's just the light is just shining down on her. Do we have a date on that?
Yeah, it's covered on that thing. It's the 16th of November.
The 16th of November. So anyone who missed with Gene Rivers, meaning your productivity, you didn't get invited or you couldn't make it, we'll have another session on this coming up. Norman, he always likes us to give blood drive. We need it. Scan there. It'll be right in the parking lot, correct? Okay. And if they take my blood, they'll take a lot of yours. So jump in. Let's fill up all those spots. Toys for Tots is another promotional thing we're doing. We'll have it now through there. We have our box. It'll be in there. Great thing. Great charity. Oh, guess what? Your HAR dues are due again this year. And here's our reminder. Every year they come up. No, they're not automatically put on your credit card. You must go in and make sure that they're paid. And if you pay them in November, we'll give you an opportunity to put 2 tickets in for a drawing, and we'll pull one name and we'll pay for those. We always had winners over the past. If you pay by December 31st, the 2 tickets for the ones who paid in November stay in the basket. Was it a basket or a hat or a bucket? And then we'll put another one and we'll have another drawing as well. So it pays to pay early. Don't make us chase you down to go pay those. We get a list. We know who it is. Yes, they're due again. All right. Don't forget our market list is coming. We're going to get a face list. So yes, if you're in the office, we're going to have to pack everything up and move things into it. So if you have filing cabinets, if you have paperwork, it's a good time to get rid of it. Just know is you're going to have to be mobile there for a couple of days. It needs a facelift, new carpet, new paint. All right, Israel, come on.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Thank you.
Man, we got to 100. Make it good. They must want to hear something.
Got to
Okay.
100 what? Oh,
Online.
Is this on?
Yeah,
it's
go.
on. My fault. Hey guys, really quickly. Let me stop. Tomorrow, not just for PC, but for everyone, this is great for new agents. AMCAP is having Mortgage 101. It'll be in the lead gen room, and it's tomorrow from 10 to 11 a.m. Okay, so and they'll be in there along with Catherine and Denise. Really quickly, I'll be sending out a survey for my dual career. Are you jamming out over there?
No, I don't know what happened.
For my dual career agents, want some feedback on group coaching for dual career. So anyone that's here or online, I want to make sure we're doing group coaching for you guys that, you know, work during the day, have a job and either a morning slot or an evening slot. Okay. A couple of things upcoming that'll be fun. On the 17th, we'll be doing some lead gen in the evening. Thanksgiving's coming up. So we want to make sure we stay in activity and not take our foot off the gas. So on 11/17, which is a Friday, and then 11/21, which is, I believe, a Tuesday of that week of Thanksgiving, we're going to be doing some group lead gen. And we'll also be going over like Cole's Realty, what we use, how to pull numbers, so you can call your database. Okay, so we can make sure we stay into activity. And then last quick reminder, right after team meeting, we'll have PC group coaching, where we'll do it right here in the Morris training room. That's all I got.
Okay, great. Thank you. Greg.
How's everyone doing? You can do a little bit better. How's everyone doing? Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dan, for picking it up. Appreciate you. My name is Greg. I'm your marketing director. So who was here on Saturday for Trunk or Treat? Yeah, amazing. So we had such an amazing turnout. We had over 1,500 people. So that was like the most people we've ever had. So I know we had a lot of people in costumes. We had a lot of people generating leads. We had great content for our social media. I know some of you may have seen the photos we uploaded on our Facebook page. So a lot of engagement there. So really awesome event for the office. We do have a video from it. So I know quick turnaround. We'd like to make sure we have a video to highlight the event. And we're going to play it now.
7th annual Trunk or Treat tonight in Sugar Land, a great event for our community, our agents, and it's just another example of we give where we live, and that's one of our favorite thing about Keller Williams Southwest is giving back to the community. Oh, it's great. It is. I never saw that much space, but okay.
Yeah, right. Like there was so much people there. These are some of the photos. So on our Facebook page, you'll see a lot of the photos, and I'll share it in the closed group as well. So we might have a few more photos gonna be added in, but for the most part, we try to capture everybody at every trunk as much as possible. So if you're not in the video, you probably have a photo for you, but you know, we worked as best as possible to get everyone in it. Great opportunity to have a final touch for your database. So you want to send a recap, right? So the video, you can use the videos on our YouTube channel. You can just kind of copy and paste the link. You can grab some photos and send a recap to your database, even for those who didn't attend, right? So you want to give them a little bit of FOMO, right? So tell them, make sure next time they come next year, but definitely a great way to touch your database. Israel, you want to add anything to it?
Yeah. Are we gonna announce winners?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, really quickly, thank you so much, guys, for those that came out and participated. If you didn't participate, you missed out. Like some of the agents did a bold 100, gather all kinds of contact information. It was a great turnout, and the next year will probably be even bigger. So please keep that in mind for next year. We do have some winners though, and so we have first place, second place.
You're gonna go first from third, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. First place, second place, and I was just saying we have three prizes. So in third place was actually a tie between Winona, who had that really cool truck. I don't know who was
yes.
there that saw that truck. So Winona won for third place, and also Nilda.
All right.
Okay, so that's
There
third
you
place.
go.
So we're gonna split that prize, so they each get a $25 gift card. Second,
Winona she brought in that truck,
that
which
truck was nice. So that's right. Yeah,
fantastic. Yes.
that was the best prop. So
Yeah.
second place, old school Kimbra.
Camera.
There you go. And so, I'm sorry, Agent Bill. So Kimbra won an Agent Bill, basic Agent Bill.
There you
Awesome.
go.
And I think Kimbra's been doing it for how long? Have you been doing trunk or treat? Second year? Okay, it seems like you've been doing it for a long time. And then in first place, you want to guess? Barbie, yes, overwhelmingly Barbie, yes. So that was Debbie Cepeda and Alicia Arroyos. So they won first place. I don't. Are they in here?
No.
Yeah, they won last year.
Did they?
Yeah, they won last
Oh, I didn't remember that. What were they last year? Do you remember?
They did
Oh yeah, they're the ones to beat for next year. So anyways, we'll get prizes out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for
Yeah.
participating. We appreciate y'all.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Good
awesome.
stuff.
Awesome. So thank you. In addition to that, I know we have the toy drive. So we have the boxes up front for the toy drive. But thanks to Barbara for having Toys for Tots. A great opportunity for lead gen as well. So anytime you have an opportunity to give back, we use that as a leverage for lead generation. So this week you're gonna all get branded flyers for the toy drive. The messaging says, people can drop it off. So our location is a public drop-off location, so public can come over here. But if you want to be a little bit more aggressive on your lead gen, you can pick it up. So you give someone a flyer, you can use it for door knocking, and idea is that you could pick up their toy donations, have additional touch. So it's going to come out in a big way, but by this end of this week, everyone should have a flyer. If you don't get one, it's because we don't have your headshot on file, and you need to schedule with Norman to get your headshot. So we want to take advantage of these content that we give to you at no cost. So that's the toy drive. So it's through December 14th. So we'll have about a month away, and we'll have more content for that as well. Just some other things to keep in note. I know a few people have been asking me about the free templates. So my free templates website is currently down. I'm working on getting it back up. So I've been getting messages about that. So I'm working on that just to let you guys know. As always, you go to our website for other marketing materials, including signs, social media content, video services, except logos and more. Next week, we're going to release a new product for agents that need open house signs. So I know we've been encouraging agents to have custom open house signs, but some of you are saying we need stuff a little bit lower cost. So we're gonna have some generic, when I say generic, simple soft open house signs, gonna be 18 by 24. It's gonna have the directions on both sides, and it's gonna be just cops KW Southwest, and it's gonna be $9 including the wire stand. So $9 including the wire stand. So I'm gonna announce that next week. But if you have any question about that, you can pre-order. But $9 including, it's gonna be delivered here at the office, and it takes about four days to get here. So, you get one. So each. No, each. You don't get a whole pack.
Yeah, that's not a great deal. I thought it was a bundle.
No, but it's a single order. Get one for $9. Yeah, ideally you get a pack. So recommending you get 20, but that's gonna be available. I'll have images of that on the Facebook page so you guys can see it. But
wants to know, is there any senior discount?
but that's all I got for you guys. Thank you.
All right, let's go, Nimesh.
Yeah, all right.
We didn't have that in the flyer?
No.
Okay.
Because it's so late minute. I mean,
Yeah.
it's breaking news, right? All right, guys. So, as we move forward, the theme of today's meeting is changes coming, right? And one of those changes has occurred in the technology field too right now. And as we move forward, there's going to continue to be consolidation and acquisitions in the industry. Okay, and one such has happened in the tech field. For many of our tenured agents here, one legacy CRM that many used was Follow Up Boss. And it was just announced this morning that the Zillow group has just acquired Follow Up Boss. All right. Now, if you think relying on third-party resources is something that's safe, hey, you never know. It's actually a quite risky move. What I love about here is that, yes, we provide you with the tools to do that. And at the same time, we have Gary's got certain beliefs that, one, you own your own database here at Keller Williams. That's a big thing, right? The other is that we're an agent-centric company for agents by agents, right? So I think it's really special to be here. These, principles that we have are huge. So if any of you are using Follow Up Boss and would like to have a conversation with me regarding a transition, please do so. Okay. And yeah, right.
All right.
Who you partner with matters. So that's what.
There you go.
All right. And
Zillow is not your friend. Let's just go ahead and state that very clearly. All right. Anybody been watching the news lately? Yeah. Anybody get on some social media groups with real estate? All right, let's just have a real conversation. In the Shift book, does anybody know that I like this book? It's one of the most brilliant books I think that we've published. And tactic number one, no prize for this, is what? Get real, get right. Let's just have a real conversation because of what went down in our industry in Kansas City, which we knew was happening. It will leave a mark. It will leave a mark. There's no other way around it of the battle that we're in. And let's just hit it kind of head on. And I shared these, right? So if you watch Inman News, right, this group, after 4.5 years of litigation, this has gone on. The jury, about 2.5 hours in Kansas City, issued a whopping $5.36 billion verdict against National Association of Realtors and other defendants, including Keller Williams. 2.5 hours. What does that tell you about the jury? Their mind was already made up, and they went into it, and our world has a perception about real estate agents or professionals or whatever you want to do it. It's not always good. So they already had their mind made up. The plaintiffs in the class audit seek relief. These were just in Missouri. It's all about the NAR, right? And they're $1.2 billion in commissions. This is just Missouri, by the way, who put this together. You're going to expect this motion to be appealed. All three major defendants, National Association of Realtors, Keller Williams, and Berkshire Hathaway, the home service group, they're obviously all going to appeal this, right? And it'll go to the court and it'll go move up a little bit. But also more like lawsuits are going to happen. Nobody's going to escape this. And they're after three things. I'm reading this off my notes, so you can't be misquoted on this. They're after three things. What do you think the number one they're after? Money, thank you, right? Who wins at the end of this? The attorneys. They're into decoupling brokers from mandatory membership in National Association of Realtors, and they're into stopping mandated cooperative commission share. Now, nothing that changes with our business as of today, but I want to have some conversation. Here's KWRI's response. While we respect the juries, yes, this was a PR post, but I want to read it to you. While we respect the jurors who decided the case based on evidence presented, we disagree with the verdict. And we are disappointed that before the jury decided the case, the court did not allow them to hear critical evidence that cooperative compensation is permitted under Missouri law. This is not the end. Keller Williams followed the law regarding cooperative compensation and stands by an evidence presented over 100-year practice of seller agents offering a portion of their commission to other agents who help market and sell the home. Looking forward, we will consider all options as we accept the verdict, try and go every process. All three have already, and we're going to have more information. Okay. So what does that mean for our agents in the practice of real estate? Here's Maryland, by the way. Agents will need to definitely negotiate all the items of the listing agreement. Do not pre-fill the form, but negotiate all provisions. Listing agents need to be careful, and I agree with this, not to state to a seller that does not want to offer compensation that they will get no showings. Be careful with that language. Time will tell if their decision will cause an issue with receiving offers. A clear estimate net sheet needs to be acknowledged by the seller with their understanding of compensation they did approve. That net sheet is more critical than ever before. I trust that you're all doing it. If not, we need to be very clear that we provided it and they acknowledge it. That is within. Buyers will need to do the same thing they do with builders or for sale by owners if there's no offer of compensation in the MLS for buyer brokerages. That is coming down the pipe. This is going to be a real conversation. You're going to get at the kitchen table because the seller would really have to have their head in the clouds if they don't know that this is going on. And this is going to be a real conversation. You'll need to, this is on the buy side too. I'll get into more of reality and more opinion-based, but I want to stick together with just the information I have. We'll need to negotiate and secure compensation, either the seller, right? Those are the ones, if you go directly to the seller and we say, hey, we'll buy your home, who's going to pay for the commission? And we get those taken care of. Caution that no VA buyer can pay buyer agent compensation, and most FHA buyer approvals will not have the funds to cover these transactions. That's a reality. We're going to have some where we don't have buyer commission being offered by listing agents, and our buyers have no way to be able to pay for it or cannot possibly. And guess what? The reality is we're going to have to say, I'm so sorry, I can't help you. Or you can, just know you're not going to get paid for it. But I'm not in a nonprofit. This is a for-profit business that we run. And then Stephen Rogers and Maryland are working on an addendum to the buyer tenant agreement. If it's not going to address the change quickly, we're gonna hit all those. So it's big news. It's gonna leave a mark. We're gonna have to work through this, right? There's lots of information. Be careful getting on some of those lab coats. This is the page. This is what I'm looking for. At the same time, we always got to provide value. We cannot move forward in this industry, in my opinion, without buyer rep agreements. We need to be really clear on that, right? You do not work for free. That is language that I've heard before. I never want that to come out of the mouth of you to go, oh, I work for you for free. No. In most cases, the listing broker has agreed to pay some of my commissions by bringing a buyer to the table. Not seller. Remember, in a listing agreement, we negotiate our commissions. There's no set rate. Now, as a brokerage, I could set a rate, by the way. As an industry, we cannot. That's where we get into the Sherman Act Trust, right, that we get into as well. So the value add that we need to, at the end of the day, Kathy's going to roll her eyes at this. Listings matter. And she'll go, well, we've always said that. And we said, if you want to last in this industry, you need what? Listings. We got to control the game. We got to get listings. And I know we say that. It's going to be tough really to move forward. If you're going, I just love buyers and I want to work with buyers. You're going to have to be really intentional going after listings, which we've always taught. The MREA always talks about leads, listings, and leverage. Listings are the name of the game. You're going to have some tough conversations. You're going to get a lot more information as it comes, but I wanted to make sure that you heard this firsthand. that was a big time verdict on our industry. One guy, by the way, was in the middle of it, fighting of it. So Anywhere Real Estate, which is formerly known as Reology, who is Century 21, Coldwell, Sotheby's, who else? Better Homes and Garden, any of those all sit under one seat, right? And Remax already settled months ago. That, hold on, I'm keeping my emotions between the line. One guy, I'm telling you, was in the middle of it, and that was Gary Keller. And all the things that we can argue and disagree with Gary, he's in the business for the agents. He's in the business for an entrepreneur. And this was actually written out that I'd like to read to you because I believe in this. And Gary, it says this: Gary has spent his life fighting for the entrepreneur. Yes, has he made a lot of money along the way? Heck yeah, he has. He's good at what he does. Our company is so grateful to stand by him. We lost round one, is what Gary said, but I'm a fighter. Fighters fight. We don't lose our opportunity to continue to build great businesses and great lives. Even in the most stressful hour, he is after it. He was in the middle of fighting it, right? So I want you to know is business under the best circumstances is difficult. But if our pursuit is blessing others, then we will not give it all what we've got. We're going to give it all. We're going to take care of people. We're going to be their fiduciary. Anything else that I open up to questions? But you got to really understand that. Yes, go ahead. We'll open it up to some questions online. I'm not looking at the chat group. I don't know if anybody is monitoring it. If we have somebody. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just curious if Trek has weighed into this situation
Not
because
at all. Not of yet, but we know this is really going to come down to our local board of real estate, our own local MLS, and Trek is going to have to they're going to have to.
Yeah, I was just curious because I've been around long enough that before there were buyers representations agreements and sub-agency came in a lot that, that's not a good option either.
No.
And it seems to me this is antiquating the real estate business by not giving the buyers the opportunity to be represented. But also, could we not raise the price of the offer to cover the commission?
Yeah, but your lenders don't have a package where they could loan it into the loan. So great discussions. This is really going to hurt the buyer who needs our representation most. Yeah, that's going to be open for discussion if that could be included in.
No further questions.
Yeah. Great discussion to have. All right, Kimbra. Yeah.
Going on. So how does a lender have an opinion about raising a price and it's showing on that final page that broker will pay 3% to the buyer agent? Where will a mortgage company have something to say about that if that's the way it's written in a contract?
Yeah, I don't think they're prepared for that conversation right now.
That's how it is right now. It's no different. It would just be, okay, the house was listed for 300, but we raised it to 309, and it's 3% to the buyer's agent. And that's negotiated up front. I don't see why that won't work.
You got appraisal question that goes in there. You have, if you're FHA VA, good luck. It's not going to happen. If you're conventional, right, it'll be based on approval from the underwriters. And at the end of the day, they want to sell that loan, right, and put it back on the market. So it has to meet the qualification for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae. Yeah.
This is Angela McDaniel online. So I saw an interview this morning between the attorney who led this class action suit and attorneys for NAR. And it was very interesting, them going back and forth. The attorney who started this class action suit's premise was the United States is the only country in the, quote unquote, westernized modern world where commissions are as high as they are. And everywhere else in the country, it's about half what people typically pay here. So I don't think the expectation is that buyer agency would go away. What it sounded like to me they're pushing for is commissions really ought to be at about 3%, with each party getting 1.5 versus 3 if you compare it to what's done in the rest of the world.
Yeah, and if you
Is what he said.
other leader, great. No, I love this discussion, by the way. You're right. If you coach anyone around the rest of the world, what do most countries do not have? They don't have them
Buyer agency.
or they don't have MLSs, right? So if you go to Europe, one is it doesn't take a license to sell real estate in a lot of countries, not all, right? And there's no MLSs, so the brokerage actually holds the listings, and for you to find the data and go into it. And MLSs were created for cooperative deal to protect both parties. But I love that's my argument to that. And at the end of the day, what they'll say is, well, the seller, I'm offering commissions to a buyer's agent and they're negotiating against me and I have to pay for it, is their argument.
Things happen anyway. If you were to go against some type of a legal transaction, the losing party, doesn't their lawyers and stuff get paid for in
Gary,
some cases?
if you look at this case, Gary made this point. Anybody read and followed anything in this case? If Gary Keller went, fascinating, right? These lawsuits, attorneys get paid how? Yeah, overall case. And there's a standard commission, right? Yeah, that comes to it. And at the end of the day, so Gary, if you followed earlier, we did settle on the do not call list. That's why you see everywhere you go, you roll your eyes and go, oh my gosh, do not call list, do not call list. It's a big deal. And he settled, I think it was about 45 million, right? If you read the fine print at the very end, each one, right? The plaintiffs, I guess each customer or whoever put onto it, I think they got around $200 to $300. This is an attorney money grab number one for them, and they do want to break it up. This is going to be really, it's going to be really interesting how our MLSs respond to it. Here's an extreme: is maybe MLSs don't even give us a spot where we can advertise for buyer commission. Where there's none being offered, because this is what the seller is. Where it really makes me hurt is for the buyers who really need us, are putting together every ounce that they can. They don't have a lender or a loan package that will get to them. They really need it. And we're going to have to tell them, I'm so sorry, in those cases, I won't be able to help you. You could, by the way, you're just not going to get paid on it. And that's going to put us in a tough spot. So then,
I have a question.
there's no reason to help. Yeah. We're a for-profit company. So now, right, you got to know the market of the moment. This is the reason I bring it up so quickly and I hit it is it's coming to a kitchen table near you very soon. It's just coming, right? And just know is, hey, nothing changes. We can continue to do business while we're doing it, but prepare yourself for the conversation. Be careful of, we don't offer a buyer's commission, then nobody's going to come. I'd be careful of that statement, right? Because this could be brought into you. We live in the most litigious time in the world. We live in a very litigious society. Why not all of you don't show up to Maryland's classes? I don't understand. Maryland is good people, by the way. Andy and I count on, we respect, we love Maryland because she keeps us out of trouble. Is she a little sharp with her tongue? 100%. Get over it, right? We want to stay away because just to know, people go, could I get sued for that? You can get sued for anything. But we want to be in position where everything that we have, most of the complaints that we have when we get in there, we get so frustrated because we open up I say loop, but I know we're in a different time now. We open up the file and we're missing stuff. And I'm like, hey, come and fight for me. I'm like, no, get your stuff in. All those paperwork and everything that we have to document, It's just to have it there. That you had the conversation, you had the net sheet. If you need to have a tough conversation over the phone, you should recap it what? In an email. To be really clear, this is what we covered. We're in a litigious society. It's coming to us. And we got your back, by the way. Help us help you. And Maryland is good people. I'll stand up here all day long. Maryland isn't going away. Because if Andy and Maryland went away, guess what we would do? We're out. You guys have fun. We'll go sell real estate on our own. And I mean that. She's really good at what she does. And she might make you feel a little goofy when you make the phone call. Because that's just the way she's wired. Okay. Somebody else have a hand?
Yeah, I just want you to bring a little bit of clarity, because you brought up a good point about, starting to bring in best practices and whatnot. And is this something that's going to be resolved by the end of the month or by the end of the year, or is this thing going to get dragged out a little bit?
The actual case is going to be years. However, you're going to see NAR, they're going to have to do, everybody's going to say, let's get away from NAR, right? And membership. Those are mandatory membership. That's going to be a real conversation. And it's just going to show up to you as TREC and HAR, which is our local MLS, which is attached to National Association of Realtors, right? We are an office that says, if you're going to be with Keller Williams Southwest, you got to be a member of it. We don't have a separate brokerage for that. So we got to be on it. That's the way it works. They're going to come out with some more language. We do belong to with a really strong local board of real estate, by the way. HAR is very strong. They're in good position. We should be very fortunate. We've already seen most cases. I'm going to say is most drastic changes occur where in our industry? They occur on the coast, right? No political statements here, but in your more density areas, and then they move up and show into the inner part of the country. I think Rhode Island has already made some changes with their NMLS really quick. Yeah. But we're in a strong group too. Okay. Yes.
I've had two of the kitchen table conversations recently after this all was brought out to us. And when you lay it out right, that, this is a choice and this is your choices, and then they start asking the questions and I just tell them and they're like, oh, of course I want to offer out there for a buyer's agent compensation. I would hate to be passed over. I didn't tell them that they wouldn't come. I said, well, what do you think? They said, do you think this would cause a problem? I said, what do you think?
Great.
You just turn it around as a question,
I can stand by that. Yeah. Tasha's right here, and then we'll go to keep moving around.
Can we get a Israel to commit to giving us a script for this?
We don't say scripts anymore. Conversation dialogue. Do you know why we can't use the word script? Because we got sued, by the way. That's the do not call, because they said, you told us what to say and your wording was wrong. No, we just help you with the conversation. That's why we no longer use the word script. Yes. We're helping you with your dialogue. Yes. Yes.
Okay, but it's there to help you with dialogue. We're giving you.
I don't know, but the best book that I've seen, by the way, anybody have it with them? What to Say? It really is the best book that I've seen. I go, wow, right? Just out of curiosity, what do you think would be the impact of that? 100%. Yeah. Okay, Linda.
So I had a question. So we need a script, or you tell me how we're supposed to handle
conversation dialogue.
Hey, don't y'all get it?
Okay, I know we're rewiring as ourselves. It's years of that.
For the buyer's rep agreement.
Yeah.
Because it's in there that if the seller doesn't pay us, then the buyer's got to pay 3%. Well, I need a conversation of how to word that or to talk to people. And does that affect us right now?
It could show up tomorrow or it might not, and we continue on. Maryland's working on an addendum to that to say is, hey, if it's not, how are we going to handle that in the conversation? I mean, you could go right to it. Hey, based on a verdict that just came out, This is a real conversation. I'm just going to hit it to them, good or bad. You are going to have some sellers who are, excuse me,
Buyers.
you're going to have some listing brokers who are not going to be able to offer buyer commission on this deal. We got to come up with a plan to be able to handle it. Because I want to show you all the properties, right? Buyer.
Yeah, to follow up with what Linda just was talking about here, we face this today when we see on the MLS sheets, most of the time it says 3% to buyer's agents. And we're happy to show those homes. And then we get some that say 2.5%. And we're not as happy about showing those homes because typically what we would do is eat the 0.5%. Now it's 2%. Maybe it goes to 1% or even goes down to 0. We have to have that conversation
You're
with
going to
our
have a
buyers
conversation with the
about
buyer
that.
and how we get there. Correct.
My concern is that we'll have buyers like right now we've got a cash buyer, and I usually have them sign the buyer's rep agreement when we submit the offer. I can't see them agreeing to sign it if it says on there, hey, if I'm not getting paid by the selling agent, you have to pay me the 3%.
First off, be careful with the 3% because we're going to have to change that, right? You're going to have a fee for them to work with you. It can be based off a percentage. We're already seeing in the last 6 months, I've looked up, there is less being offered on buyer commissions than I've ever seen before. We're seeing 2 and 2.5, right? It's just coming. Anybody else recognize that or just me? Right? We used to, as a listing agent or a listing broker, we took 5. We used to go, I'll take the 2 and the 3. I've seen more of a trend is people are just going, we'll do 2.5, 2.5. I've seen one where the listing took 2.5 and they only paid the buyer 2. Right? All those are negotiable, better be really listed out on your listing agreement. So we're really clear. Whatever you post on MLS, we still have to deliver it. That's why I tell you, when you make an offer, print out the MLS. So we know what that offer was there. So you don't have terms to go back and change it. Because that's an agreement from the listing broker to pay it. It has nothing to do with the seller. Yes. Okay.
So one of the things that's always driven me nuts, especially when I had a lot more buyer agent representation, why can't we create a retainer fee? Why can't we bill by the hour? I mean, the guy you had to show 69 homes to, how many hours did you put in on? And so it might be if there's some way to have that conversation with them versus, hey, that's where this is going to go. Or
yeah, when you got professional services,
the
right,
liars do it.
There's nothing wrong with you saying to have my services, this is a fee. Okay, go ahead. You had a moment? Okay. I'm going to recap this. I'm going to recap this all at the end. So a couple more questions. Anything else or comments? Anyone else in the back? Yes? Speak
Are
loud.
we safe at this point
Go ahead.
to keep doing our presentations how we always done them?
Yeah, the only thing
if
you're
they
talking about
ask
listing,
the question, that's when we address this.
Yeah, great question. Yes, we're going to continue to do business as usual, right? I would tell you, though, it's going to show up at the kitchen table on a listing. Marilyn has advised us, right? I repeat myself often to stay with it, is don't have them pre-filled. Make sure they're really clear on how you're the listing broker, what you're paying, and what you're going to advertise for a buyer's agent. Make sure, and then fill out that net sheet. Buyer side, be really clear, right, to get the buyer's rep. And I would also say, this is typically my fee and how I get paid. How are you going to add in? Which you can. If compensation is not offered by the listing broker, how would you like to handle that? You would like for me to get paid, correct? Now they're VA, FHA, they don't have much cash. That's going to be fun. We're going to work through that. first timers. I don't think you're going to see drastic changes right out of the gate, but it could. That's why we're having this conversation. Yes.
So my question is long term.
Yeah.
How does that affect the office? Because I'm fairly new agent, and
Yeah.
the reason I came here was for all the help that we get.
Yeah.
From the mesh to everyone here. What does that mean long term as far as what you guys offer?
Well, I own a lot of investment in Keller Williams franchises, so I'm all in on. We're going to be really listing focused. We're going to be really on value based, right? Some of your communities that want the kickback, so to speak, whatever term you want to use, that's going away. You're like, what am I going to kick back? You need to pay me, right? They used it as a vehicle. Some of this we did to ourselves, by the way. We really did. But long term, there's going to be an opportunity for all of us. You're still going to be able to build a really big business. It's just going to leave a mark, and we got to have the skills to be able to pivot and pay attention to what's going on. This is not a one-time conversation. This is going to be fluid and moving. I'm getting text as we speak, by the way, on this. So it's fluid in movement. I just want to have a real conversation about it. Don't forget, listings, what are good, Kathy?
Well, what's to stop,
Yeah, you got to speak up. Go ahead.
what's to stop this from happening at a listing appointment? So we're having the conversation about that other 3% or whatever that looks like.
Yep.
And the seller then decides that it's more important to be compensating the buyer agent than the listing agent.
So how are you going to handle that?
Well, it's
Come on, you have years of experience.
I would say, well, it may not be for you, but right now the builders are offering 3, 4, 5% plus bonuses. Where do you see yourself fitting into this market?
Well, they'll say they'll offer it, but Kathy says they're gonna
I'm
go,
saying what if the conversation goes something like, well, I'll pay you 1%. We'll offer the buyer agent 3%. I mean, this is typically I'm not saying it's that much different than what we're doing. However, it could be more prevalent.
Yep. What's your conversation dialogue to handle? It's going to come to value. It's going to be what you marketing, what you bring to it. Kathy, this is going to have a big impact on the luxury. I wish I could tell you this moving away. The luxury agents, which you get to, this is going to have an impact on your luxury. Because that's significant money with our standard fees.
I remembered my question from earlier. Just a minute, Sharon.
Go ahead.
Which was, did I hear you accurately? You say that we ought not be putting offer instructions into the agent remarks and into the attachments.
No, I didn't. That was not addressed by me.
Okay.
I have no comment on this time on that.
At this time.
Let's make sure. I'm glad we're recording this. Yes.
Conversation, much like what Kathy brought
No,
up.
we're gonna get you some more information. I won't even schedule it. Remember, this is get real, get right, and then tactic 11. Anybody know what tactic 11 is? You're not gonna run. You don't know any better. Tactic 11 is what? Master the market of the moment, and this is just where you need skills, right? You need conversation. You need to have dialogue. Don't be caught off guard, right? Have some questions asked for. The little tip that Kimber gave you. Hey, out of curiosity, what do you think the impact would be? Well, that's what I think. Great. Let's go with that. Most of them will tell you with sellers where you need to be. Yes. No, dialogue, conversation dialogue. We don't use script anymore. Remember, we got sued for that too. Go ahead. Go ahead. No.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell us real fast.
Did you sell that house to seller? Did you sell that house to the buyer? No matter if if you're getting 1% and that buyer's getting 3%, but as a listing agent, have I sold the house to the buyer?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not making no money to even market the house, how am I going to sell the house to the buyer?
I'm disagreeing. You're talking about value and you're having about real conversations. Man, you got some major kudos earlier today. Yeah, I'm glad you weren't here to hear it, because I know. It was awesome, by the way. Yes, that's right. All right, go ahead.
For the renter also will be the same. Or just buy and sell.
Oh, that's always been most of your your big companies, they don't even want to pay you to represent the tenant anyways. Yeah, will this show up there? Yeah, it will. But nothing changes in that, right? Just go to the MLS, see what's offered, then you know.
And you said something about you passed by it, but how do you feel?
Yeah, she can't hear. Come on. If you're going to hold the microphone, get busy.
We passed by it quickly, but how do you feel about offer instructions on the MLS? Do you?
Yeah, well, that's yes. Oh no, I'll get. Yep. I used to really be into them, and I would be really clear on it. And we're going to see how that moves forward. Marilyn will have a take on that. When's Marilyn on the schedule again? 2 weeks. We do it on Zoom too. That's good. It's just real conversations, right? She hits it right on. Did I tell you that I like Marilyn? Okay, great. Just making sure. She's your friend too. Everybody say it together. Marilyn is your friend. Let's say it one more time. Marilyn is your friend. Yeah, 100%. Yes. She's good at what she does. And she's in the middle of all those cases because the number of offices that she works with, she's in it. Okay, it's going to be fluid. We're going to move forward, right? Remember, all of this is just a way to pivot. Even you could still build, let's be clear, a really big real estate business. You could still build it. It will continue to go. People need our help. They need our expertise as professionals. Yes, Kathy, what were they teaching years ago? What for listings? Listings are everything. Yep.
$1,000 into the stock market without talking to somebody who knows what they're doing. So that we're not going away. We just need to be smarter than the average bear here. I mean,
Be the professional expert, study the market, understand, and just have the conversations, right? And ask the questions that are needed. And if you're not sure of it, ask around. We will always have guidance for you along the way. Yeah. And our number one is we got a lot of changes going on in our industry, right? Technologies are that, not just Gary Keller's. I sat in a room with franchise owner and we all unanimously agreed to one thing. We want to own our technology. We want to be in control of it. We don't not want to be in, because data is still important. Zillow is still going to go follow-up. I really love follow-up, boss. It's a good price. It follows up. Now you're in with Zillow and they're only after one thing and all the data. So, yeah, and they will. I would question you, Arlie, if you're there, move it. Well, I don't like how Command does this or whatever. I'm telling you, for 98% of the agents in this office, there's no reason why you're using Command. I do know with some of our top teams, there is some challenges with the lead flow and the way that you do things. I totally get it. But for the rest of us, there's no reason you're paying for something else. You should be in that system. And it'll get better over time. Okay. All right, let's jump it. Fun conversation. Thank you for joining it online. All we had to say we had important. Hopefully that was helpful. I have no idea what the chat says. Norman didn't fill us in. We'll have to get it later. Okay, let's jump ahead. Our business partners, come on up. Who do we got? Just Dale? No, we'll get you guys as our sponsors. We have your own slide. All right, go ahead. Take it away.
Yes. Well, good morning, everyone.
It's afternoon now.
It's more.
Sorry.
Close. That's all right. Thank you. It is afternoon. Wanted to talk about tomorrow. We do have a mortgage 101 kind of a basics class that we're going to be doing at 10 o'clock from 10 until 11. It's going to be back in the productivity room. I think that they're doing a class here for business planning. Is that correct? So we'll be doing that. We're going to talk about some changes to lending that's happening there. We're going to talk about mortgage math and how you can help your potential buyers determine how much their payments are going to be. That seems to be the biggest question, and the biggest reason right now for fallout for contracts is affordability. People are not certain what their payments are going to be, and we want to help you all to be able to determine that if you're not working with us. As Chad said, it's just change. We're all going to have to do our best to work through this, know as much as we can, but we've got to be able to prove to these buyers, to the sellers, our value, our worth. That's the biggest thing. What is our value-added proposition? We are not, as loan officers, going to be able to thrive unless we still have the referrals from buyers agents. We're here to support. We want to give as much information to add value to what you bring to potential buyers. So we're here for you. We'd love to have as many people tomorrow in the productivity room right at 11 o'clock. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Caring transitions. Come on in. Yeah, you got to dodge things. We make it fun just to see how you navigate. Stand right here so they can see you online. You got a good amount there.
Okay. Wow. Hello, everyone. So I am Sherry Blankenship. I know a couple of you guys in the room, but I'm here to share with you what we do at Caring Transitions. Anybody have a clue? Nobody. One person. Awesome. Thank you, Pam.
You know that.
Okay, so I'll keep this quick. So I am a resident of Fort Bend County and a resident of Sienna Plantation. I've been in the community about 25 years. I am an alumni of Texas A&M University, as are my children, or they are working on it. And I have my youngest daughter is a senior at Ridgepoint High School. So I'm very connected in this community. I actually serve on the Fort Bend Aggie Moms Club as treasurer. So I see some of you guys throughout the community because the Aggie Network is pretty strong out here as well. However, one of the things that I had a passion for many years ago, as I was taking care of my mother, was watching how people actually take care of their seniors and their families or their friendships or through their churches, and what that really means as far as what do we do when they get to the level where it is time for more care? It is time for them to be closer to their families. How do they make that transition? So I started watching a company about 5 years ago that's been around about 15 years, and it is a franchise known as Caring Transitions. We have about 300 offices across the U.S. In the local Houston area. There are 5 or 6 offices between, say, as far north as the Woodlands and Kingwood, and as far south now as Sugarland. So I am the owner of Sugarland, and I'm also the owner of Caring Transitions of Houston Metro. So for those of you that work on properties or work with families that are trying to make a transition, just know that I've got 2 territories for you covered. But because my passion runs deep for working with the elderly and with the seniors, a lot of the questions that come about is, how am I going to afford my move? How am I going to get the care I need? And how am I going to make the move? And who do I call? So here's where we help. We do 3 things. We help with our seniors in their transitions. So that means we actually physically make their moves. We actually go in, we do their space plannings, we do their downsizing. We help them navigate through what should go, what can't go and won't fit in their new spaces. And we bring a team out to actually help with that. Secondary, we do downsizing. So in addition to getting ready for that move, we will help them really make those identifications of, okay, where are we taking some of these items in the home? Are we going to give them to family members? Are we going to sell them? Are we going to take them on our move with us? Are we moving within a local community because we are going to an assisted living or to a retirement living local? And if we're not doing something local, then we have Caring Transitions offices that can actually help take us from a move out of Sugar Creek to a new facility, maybe in North Carolina. So with that being said, the third thing we do is we do their online estate sale. Because how many of you guys have dealt with clients that go, well, I'd love to sell my house, but I don't know what to do with my stuff. And usually that finding a purpose or finding a plan of how we are going to liquidate a home is usually the first step in getting that transition started. And that's where we're here to help. So we go into the properties, we go top to bottom, room to room. We help identify what can be actually put into an estate sale. And that's how we do it through our estate sale auction platform. Because as Caring Transitions, that we are such a large company, we actually have the beauty of this platform called CT Bids, and that is our auction house. So that means all the possessions that come out of a client's home can actually be put on online auction, where we're not going into the homes and doing a traditional estate sale. So that means for you guys, once you call our office, we have a consultation, which is free with our clients. We can liquidate that property in 15 days or less. That's from start to finish. So we work with realtors in many cases where we get a call and maybe the house is sold. The house closes in 3 weeks. The house closes now. How can you help? And that's where we immediately activate somebody come out and meet with your client, figure out how we can get that done. And if they need the moving services, they need the moving assistance, we help get that done. We have calls even that come in because the realtor sometimes is the first person they're going to call because they know that you guys are going to sell their house, or maybe you've been a longtime friend of the family. So I put together a little packet for you that explains that one call does do it all. You can call us because we have relocation needs. If you have relocation needs for your clients, I have a couple of examples of recent calls that have come in. Then we do downsizing and decluttering. So for example, in this case, we may have somebody who's come to us because maybe their wife has been diagnosed with dementia, and they know a move is probably coming sometime in the next year. So we can actually come in and we can actually help downsize your clients and actually do the decluttering services now. And that way we've done that first step in their transition of then getting to getting the actual move part going, and then maybe getting the actual sale of the home going. So in here I have a couple of examples, and these are real life examples for you. And then of course, when it comes to the estate sales and the online auctions, one thing I think you do need to know is that in many of our communities in the Fort Bend County area, there are HOAs. In Houston, we deal with HOAs also. The online auction is the avenue that you and your clients can utilize to be able to step around that. So you're not trying to bring in a company to liquidate where you're going to upset the neighbors. You're going to get your clients that have HOAs that actually may fine them if they somehow get caught. So that is what we do in a nutshell. I don't have a lot of time to speak today. So I just want to see if anybody has a quick question. I'm happy to answer. Yes.
Extreme hoarding, do you deal with that?
I'm sorry, what?
Extreme hoarding.
Oh.
That's their specialty.
Yes. Yes.
They use the word stuff. I use the word crap, right?
Yeah.
Here's the reality of it. It's a transition. We got more baby boomers, right? That's a big population. They're all coming to this. And two is they got a lot of crap because they've been in homes for many, many years. And their children who are now older, they don't want to deal with it. Yeah, so we got to have an easy button in the transition plan to them. So this is a great vehicle. You don't have to be an expert at it. Just connect.
Yeah. So in Sugar Land, in case you're wondering why I haven't heard about this. So I opened the Sugar Land office in January of 2022, which was just last year. Today I have Vicki, who's our team lead. It's actually on our job sites. Today I pulled her off a job site to come work with us. And this is Tessa. Tessa is our business development relationship person. And she is integral in actually talking with our facilities and our local community retirement homes and assisted living facilities. So we've only been around about 1.5 years here in the local area. But that doesn't mean that we are not serving our community, and we're doing it. We're pretty busy, very, very busy. So, and thanks to everybody like you guys who are our referral partners.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, great. All right.
Questions?
No, I think that's
okay. Great.
Great. You guys will hang around for a little bit, answer some questions, get some information. Thank you so much for being here and joining us, especially online. We had a good amount of you. Just had to scare you a little bit. It's all going to be good, right? Go out and what we do best and add value and professionalism, and we'll move through this. All right. We'll see you next week.